Today, we will be upgrading the rear differential in our Stampede 4x4 by installing these two parts. How's it going, guys? Josh here at Trax RC, and today we will be converting our Stampede 4x4's rear differential to an XO-1 diff using these parts. This bag right here contains all the internal gears, and then this one is the diff cup, some seals, and also some little spacers. Before we start wrenching, we just want to invite you guys over to check out our website. Click the link down below in the description and it will take you to our website, and there we have reviews on all of our RC cars, including our Stampede 4x4, as well as other ones that we have featured on our channel. There you can buy Trax RC merch and learn general information about us and our channel. You can also check out some of the latest RC news topics that we have for you guys this week, as well as a full list of the best RC cars in our opinion. And the last page that we have is the build breakdowns page, and that is where you can see a full parts list of all the upgrades that we have installed on every single one of our RCs. And as always, if you do visit our website, please give us feedback on it in the comments down below so that we know what we need to improve on. So now that that is out of the way, let's go ahead and start putting these parts onto our Stampede 4x4. So the first thing that we're going to do is remove the 4 screws holding on the rear assembly. There is one there, and then there is these two on bottom. Now we can just separate the rear assembly from the chassis. Next, we are going to remove the rear bumper. It is held on with 5 screws. One there, there's one right there, and then 2 at the bottom. Now we can slide the rear bumper off and set that off to the side. Now we are going to remove these 4 screws right here holding the shock tower in place. Pull the shock tower up, slide the diff case out, and then pull the diff out. And then we can set this assembly off to the side. Next, we are going to remove the drive cups, and they are held on with a single set screw on each side. Now we want to slide off the 2 bearings on the diff. Then we are going to remove these 4 screws holding on the ring gear. Pull off the ring gear, and then there is the inside of the diff. Now you want to locate this seal right here and set that off to the side. Now you want to push out this gear, set the ring gear off to the side. Then you want to grab some tweezers and pull in the center because there's a pin that holds 2 gears in. And once you get it out, it should look like this. And then we're going to set that part off to the side. Now we're going to push out the last gear and then set the diff cup off to the side. Now I think that the only part that we're going to be reusing from the internals of the diff is just the ring gear. So you just want to give that a good wipe over, make sure it's clear of any dirt and old grease, and you also want to make sure that there is no O-ring inside. Now I should probably mention that our ring gear is a little bit destroyed. There's some missing teeth on it, and some teeth are just chipped up really bad, so we're going to have to replace it, and I think that we're going to upgrade to the Traxxas helical cut gears, and that'll just make the wear pattern a little bit better. With that being said, when we put this diff back together with the upgraded XO-1 internals, we're not going to fill it with grease or even grease the gears. And that's just because we're going to have to re-grease the ring and pinion anyways, and we're also probably going to have to top off the inside of the diff. So instead of wasting grease and all that, we're just not going to do any of that because we won't be driving this car anytime soon until we upgrade the diff. So next we're going to grab the bag with the diff cup, open it up, and inside we get the instructions, of course, and then we get some O-rings, we get a washer, this metal piece right here, which is for like structural integrity. Then we get a new seal, we get the new diff cup, and then we get another O-ring and a second metal piece. Now doing a quick comparison between the old and the new diff cup, you can see that the new one does have some differences in the inside. They are basically the same shape. I don't really see any differences there, but there is just that spot for these metal pieces in the new one. Now we're going to open up the bag with the gears, and inside we get the 4 gears right there, and then we have this little I-beam thing, and then a large pin. So looking at the instructions, I could tell that this is going to be a pretty simple assembly. It does say like the rebuild instructions for a Stampede 4x4, however that is for the stock diff. We are looking at the XO-1 diff. So first we're going to grab the new diff cup, and then the thinner bearing, slide it over the outdrive right there, and then we're going to grab one of these black gears, and then we're going to grab this metal washer, slide it over the shaft, and then take a blue O-ring and then slide that over the shaft, and then this piece is going to go into the diff cup. Next we are going to grab the other black gear and then the blue O-ring, slide that over the shaft just like that, and we're going to set that piece off to the side. Now we're going to grab one of these metal tabs, and then you want to make sure that the 2 little bumps on top are facing up. You want to grab this gear and then the pin, and then just slide both of these pieces over the pin. And then you want to take this I-beam, do it just like that, and then take this gear, put it over the I-beam, and then this tab, and put it over it just like that. And it should look like this. Now we're going to install this assembly into the diff cup, and it just slides right in. You want to make sure that the 2 bumps on these metal tabs are facing up. Normally at this time you would fill the differential with diff lube, such as this 30,000 weight Trax diff lube, but we're not going to do that right now because we have to replace the ring gear, and we're going to do it when we do that. After you fill your diff with diff lube, you just want to take this seal, line it up with the holes, and once you do that, you want to just set it down, grab the black gear and then the ring gear, and then slide it in that hole, and then take the ring gear and line it up with the diff cup. Make sure that the holes are also lined up. Once you do that, you want to reinstall these 4 screws holding the ring gear in place, and you want to do this in a star pattern. Now we can take this bigger bearing, slide it over that shaft, and then we want to reinstall the drive cups. Next we're going to grab the diff and then slide the drive shafts in the diff cups, and after we do that, we're going to slide the diff into the housing, making sure that the drive shafts don't fall out. And once the diff is in place, we're going to grab this cover, slide it over the diff, and then reinstall the 4 screws that hold the shock tower into place. Next we're going to take the rear bumper and reinstall the 5 screws that hold that in place. Now that we have the rear assembly put back together, we can line everything up with the chassis and then reinstall the 4 screws holding everything together. And now that the rear assembly is back on the chassis, we are done with this install. So you can do the exact same upgrade in the front diff, however we did not do it this time around because 1, the budget did not allow for that, and 2, we just felt like the front didn't need it right now because the rear diff does go under more stress than the front diff. Yes, we will be getting the upgraded XO-1 internals for the front diff, just like we did in the rear diff in this video. And previously in this video we had mentioned that we're going to get the helical cut ring and pinion for the back, and we're going to do the same thing in the front, however that is going to come at a later date, just like the XO-1 internals for the front. So basically we're going to upgrade the rear diff first and then work our way to the front diff and upgrade that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. We hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time on Trax RC.